Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Blue Maxima, and I'm here checking out Rabu Raifu School Idol Paradise Volume 1, Primtemps. They say Rabu Raibu all the time in the game's like quote-unquote loading screens, and just kind of got stuck in my head. I don't have the usual PlayAsia intro because honestly I lost the art for it and I haven't gone to actually get a replacement yet, but yeah, basically these videos are sponsored by PlayAsia. Look in the description for a reference link and a coupon you can use to save some money and help me out and such like that. But let's go and play some School Idol Paradise. This is part of the Love Live series, which is a series with a bunch of schoolgirls becoming idols and trying to save their school via it. I have not seen it. I have done a little bit of research to help me out with looking around this copy of the game. Or this game, I should say, not this copy, but then again, we'll get on to how the game's weird setup works in a moment. But I have done a little bit of research that does fill me in on what's going on, and a little bit of translation here and there. With that said, though, I've only been playing for about an hour and a half. We'll get on to why. So, there's a settings menu here. These are all your audio levels, nothing particularly out of the ordinary. You've got message speed, message auto, delay, and I don't know what this one is, but if you turn this one down here on, it lets you skip text that you haven't seen yet, which I eventually turned on about halfway through the game when I realized that basically this game's story mode is a retelling of the Love Live anime, as far as I can tell. However, it seems to be a much lighter-hearted version of it. They don't seem to have included a few scenes from the anime that I am actually aware of, like the one where Honoka gets the slapped shit out of her. Never mind, the shit slapped out of her. It doesn't include any sort of negative scenes, as far as I can tell. There might be ones unlockable later on that I just haven't gotten to yet. But yeah, you can actually come in here and start a new game. We're not actually going to look into the story mode because the story mode is a combination of two things: the cutscenes and the rhythm gameplay, and I can go through both without going into the story. But as you can see up in the top right there, I actually have unlocked one of the endings. I've beaten this game. I beat it in less than an hour. Sure, I skipped through a lot of the dialogue and stuff, but I beat this game in less than an hour. It's really fucking short, I'll tell you that much. But basically how the story mode in that works is you get cutscenes and then you play songs in the middle, and sometimes it'll give you a choice of scenes that you can go and see, but you can only go and see one. And there are ones that'll be locked that you can unlock by doing specific things at specific parts in the story. Like, for example, there's a point where they do an Akihabara festival, and depending on, I think it's the song, if I remember correctly, that you play during the Akihabara festival, it will let you see different scenes. At least I think that's how it works. There is also 3 endings, but according to a review I read, which was a little bit more up-to-date on this game than I was, basically you need to fail the story. Actively make an attempt to fail the story to actually get the worst endings, which is, yeah, let me put it this way, it's actually really easy to win this game. This is one of the easiest rhythm games I've played in a long time. Other things in the menu first off, this is where you go to get your downloadable content. Obviously, I'm not on a Japanese account, so I can't show you that. This is the, I don't know what to call this, the idol book? It lets you just look at the girls' measurements and change their costumes so you can see what they look like. So yeah, I've got Honoka in the only non-school uniform. And there's something I want to point out here. Like, see these animations that they're doing? The actual 3D models are really nice and they look pretty damn good on the Vita screen. However, the animations in the cutscenes and out here in the idol book are really poorly done. Like, they're so stiff in their animation changes. It's so obvious when they've obviously gone from one animation to another. And considering these are meant to be lovely little schoolgirls, just like naturally changing poses, the artificial stiffness of all the animations is actually really not that pleasant. And it's kind of one of the reasons why I decided to just start skipping through the story dialogue scenes. But anyway, if I click on Honoka, I'll eventually get to go to a screen with her. The loading times in this bit are ridiculous, by the way. So eventually I'll get to go to a scene with her, and I get to see her measurements, and I get to do a couple of other things. So I can actually come here to show off some of her voice clips. And some animations too, which is kind of neat, but yeah, there's a ton of them, and most of them start out locked. Then you have the ability to change her costume. So if I want to change her costume to say the Shangri-La shower costume, I can tell her to do that and she'll walk off screen. If I tap the screen fast enough, she'll eventually get mad and snap at me. And that's how you get one of the game's trophies. And that's pretty much all you can do here. No, really, there's really nothing else to do. Like, the third button down there just lets you change who you close in on, which can just be replicated by pressing the X button and coming back to the screen with all three of them in the same shot. You can also press the R button here to watch a cutscene. Due to the fact that I don't have much time to record this video, I'm not going to do that right here in this video, but I'm going to cut away just as I finish speaking the sentence to show you what some of the cutscenes look like, so have fun with that.
また変なことでも思いついたんでしょ。まったくしょうがないわね。でもほのかちゃんのことだからまたライブしようって話かもしれないよ。
ありえますね。ほのかは思ったことをすぐ口にしますから。
でもそういう提案なら賛成ね。何より音の木坂の PR になるしね。リンもライブしたいにゃ。もっといっぱい歌って踊りたいにゃ。そうやな。けどやるからには前回以上のものを作らないと同じ内容のライブなんてみんなに見せられないやろ。やるからにはレベルアップするのが必須条件や。けどレベルアップなんてすぐにできるもんじゃないわよ。基本的な歌とダンスはもちろん、体力、リズム感、演出の向上、やることは山ほどあるわ。それにそれぞれ自分の弱い部分、苦手な箇所を克服しないとレベルアップなんて言えないわよ。まっちゃんにそう言われると自信なくすな。そうなるとすぐにライブはできないかもしれないね。私は現実を言ってるだけ。別に反対しているわけじゃないからね。じゃあまずはミューズのいいところを伸ばすっていうのはどうかな。いいところ？いいところを伸ばすのは弱点を克服するよりやりやすいと思うの。そうすればきっと今まで以上のライブにすることができるよ。
短所に目を向けつつも長所を伸ばす努力をする。それはなかなかいい方法かもしれませんね。
ミューズの長所といえばそれはもちろん宇宙ナンバーワンアイドルニコニーの。はいはい。でも私たちの長所って具体的に何かしら。ちょっと最後まで言わせなさいよ。ミューズの長所といえばいつも元気なとこにゃ。それはあんただけでしょ。ニコはアイドルらしいデリケートな一面も持ってるニコ。デリケート。何よ、文句ある？ニコッチはほっといて。うちは前向きに頑張ってるところがミューズの一番いいところだと思うよ。
前向きにですか？
無理かもって思うより先にできるって思って行動する。みんながそう思うことでミューズは成長してきたんだと思うんや。
確かにそうかもしれませんね。でなければミューズはここまで来られなかったかもしれません。
でもそれってみんながほのかちゃんに似てきたってことかな。ニコがほのかに似てきた？ありえないわ。リンはなんとなくわかるな。それにかよちんなんかすっごく似てきたと思うよ。私？でもやっぱり私はパンより白いご飯の方が。そういう意味じゃなくて花代も前向きになってきたってことなんじゃない？そうなのかな。自分ではわからないけど。でもそうなら
言われてみるとミューズ結成から今までずっとほのかに引っ張られてきた気がしますね。どんな時も前向きで私たちの進む方向の道しるべになって。
そうね、何でも前向きな姿勢に私たちはいつも助けられてきた。
ええ、それに私最近は本当に思えるようになったんです。簡単じゃないけどこのメンバーで頑張ればきっと廃校も食い止められるんじゃないかって。
うみちゃんもだいぶほのかちゃんになってきたね。
笑うのはなしですよ小鳥。口に出すのはすごく恥ずかしいのですから。それにこのことは絶対ほのかに言ってはいけませんよ。
ほのかちゃんを前にしたらもっと恥ずかしいもんね。前向きなのがミューズのいいところ。そして一人一人みんなのいいところを吸収し合って、それならきっとミューズはもっともっと前に進んでいける気がするね。ええ、そうすればきっと廃校も。
ニコはいつまでもニコのままだからね。そういうニコちゃんだってほのかさんに似てるにゃん。ニコは前からこうなの。むしろほのかがニコに似てきたのよ。そうに決まってるわ。
ニコッチはほんと素直になるのが苦手やね。
みんなお待たせ。噂をすれば本人が来たみたいよ。ほのかちゃん待ってたよ。
Okay, now that you've seen that, you can see what I mean by the animations being all stiff and taking, just like being really artificial when they move, and it's kind of annoying. The voice acting's fine, and as I said, it's kind of a sort of retelling of Love Live without the negative bits, but it's not really as engaging as I would have hoped. But then again, I can't understand it. I can't read a word of it, so, you know, maybe if I did understand Japanese, I might have a better time with it, but yeah, not really going for me there. If you're wondering what this little R button thing here is, by the way, this is the... As I said, the game branches off at certain points, so you can see, like, choose between certain scenes. These are a list of the scenes that I've seen already. And there's a bunch of other scenes that also happen in the middle that you can't choose, and they don't actually put in there. I'm not entirely sure what the deal with that is. But anyway, just while I'm here, you want to know why there's only 3 girls here and not the entirety of Love Live's, like, 9-member cast? That's because they split the game into 3 volumes. Primtemps and the other 2, like, groups of 3 that make up the whole Love Live thing. And depending on the volume you get, it depends on the 3 girls you get here. So, you can get, Nico Nikuni. That's the only reason I picked the one with Honoka in it is because Honoka is the cutest. But, really, it's just an odd system because the 3 games only have like 10 songs shared between them, and then there's like 4 unique ones for each game, which is really weird because you'd think you could fit it all on one and then let you do like whatever you want with all 9 of the girls. That's a really weird sentence. But it's just... I don't understand why they felt the need to split it up, and apparently the fans of the game, the people who ended up not buying the game, didn't think so either, because apparently this started out as a full price release, then dropped like a rock to something like 20 bucks. Or just like the equivalent of that. Like seriously, the prices drop like a rock in Japan if people don't like the game. So, yeah, it's a really weird system and I don't know why. And it just makes you need to buy 3 games to get all 3 experiences, and even then it's not really that... I hope it wouldn't be that different in the story mode anyway. That would be insane. But let's actually get on to the music side of things, shall we? We've got 2 options here. I'm mainly going to spend time in the free music mode, but I will come and show a little bit of mission mode. We'll do 1 song in mission mode. How about that? So, I only have 10 missions unlocked right now because I really couldn't be bothered to play any further than this. But the basic idea of the mission mode is that you've got a goal you need to accomplish, some restrictions towards that goal, and an unlockable that you'll get for it, and the more missions you finish, the more you'll unlock, and yada 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 yada. This is the only mode outside of the free mode and the story mode. And some of these missions will really fuck with you, apparently. Like, this one here, it says that it'll, you need to get 700,000 points. Fair enough. but it will also replace all the notes with notes where you have to hit both sides at once. So, you know, it's a relatively simple mission, and more of these missions will screw with it as well. So, I'm just going to play this mission here. I don't know what it says. I assume it says get 700,000 points with a restriction of some kind, but, you know, we'll find out. So the game will load into the stage preparation screen, and you can choose a song, a outfit, and a concert hall to do, right? And you also have your 3 girls over here basically asking you to do specific things. So if I was to come over here and say hi to Honoka, it'll bring up this little prompt, and if I say yes to it, it'll equip her song, and I'll get a little bonus to my hearts here. And I'll just do the same for these 3 here, because they never do any sort of crossover. They never do any sort of thing like that. It's always, one will recommend you the song, one will recommend you the costume, one will recommend you the stage. So we've got our stage, our song, and our costume here. And you'll notice down the bottom left there that they give you stars and hearts. And if you can get the heart count and the star count above those 2 counts there, it'll make you more likely to get stars and hearts in the song. How is that relevant? Let's go find out. Loading times aren't horrible, but the songs aren't very long either, so you end up sitting through a fair few of them. The game's technical performance isn't particularly great, I must say. Yeah, it's cute though. Look at them. They're all tiny. We could give them all head pats. Head pats for days. You can press square here to turn the sound of the buttons being pressed on and off, but it's pretty unnecessary, I found, so we'll just go straight in. Prepare for my channel to get copyright strike, because it's a bloody idle game from Japan. They love doing that. So yeah, you know, if you want to support me, I'm not going to be able to run ads on this, so please, for the love of God, go to that Play Asia link. I'm starving over here, he says, completely lying out his ass. But anyway, here is Love Live. This is a very, very simple rhythm game. So the pink hearts there, you see that they have a color to the left, and you see that the blue stars have a color to the right. That is a very simple thing to explain, and there's also, like, full circles. So you know how Taiko no Tatsujin requires you to have, like, buttons on the left and buttons on the right? Well, this game works in exactly the same way. Every face button, so triangle, circle, square, X, is needed to press the hearts. To press the stars, you need to press any direction on the D-pad. You can also use the touchscreen for this. You also have, as I showed off before, long notes, and you also have notes that require you to hit both at once. Very, very simple stuff. There are also some other gimmicks that the game will have you do as well, like this right here is a touchscreen gimmick where you follow along with the idle's finger. So, as you're playing through, you earn stars and you earn hearts. Now, stars and hearts are very easy to explain. For stars, once you get 1 star, you can do that little touchscreen minigame. I find that touchscreen minigame to be rather obnoxious, because you end up having to just, like, you end up having to come off the usual rhythm minigame, which I find very odd, and you have to do that little touchscreen minigame while the song continues in the background, and there's a reason why this annoys me more than anything else. I'm not doing particularly well here, but frankly I don't really need to. The game is ridiculously easy. I maxed out my meter just like a couple of seconds ago, but yeah. This whole minigame here is actually really easy too, for the most part. I hadn't seen that pattern before, but the idea is you just need to hold your finger and follow the line, but even then you don't really need to worry about that, just because as long as your finger is there, you don't even have to worry about the pattern. As long as your finger makes it to the star, you'll be fine. So you could literally just go in a straight line if you wanted to and it would have no effect. By the way, that's why challenge missions are annoying. Even if you like the music, as soon as you pass the requirements for finishing the mission in the challenge mode, it will immediately cut out the rest of the song. And you'll just go straight back to the menu. I don't know why they do that either, but I think it's retarded. Let's go and actually play some free songs. Yeah, that is a really stupid thing. Like, I figured that I should show that off because that is honestly surprisingly annoying. I'm not even that big of a fan of the music in this game, and even I find that kind of obnoxious. At least, I mean, I appreciate the thought. Like, let me end the challenge as soon as I'm done instead of making me wait for it. And they won't actually give me... They won't actually give me instructions this time, so I just get to pick what I want. But I don't get the, I don't get the heart bonuses or anything like that, which is kind of annoying. Yep, that'll do. Wait for the game to load up again, because I was halfway through the gameplay explanation while I was, Jesus. I was halfway through the gameplay explanation when the challenge cut out. Yeah, 2 loading screens here. That's a little odd, but okay. Come on, hurry up. I'm really running out of time. I'm gonna be quite busy tonight. Even though I recorded this video like a few days in advance, so by the time you see it, it's not gonna bloody matter. But anyway, here we go again. So, I talked about everything except the stage gimmicks, and the stage gimmicks are a nice change. Like, I kind of like the idea they're going for there. And it's that once you get enough hearts, which also build up in the same way stars do, just the better you do, the more of them you get. They're basically like fever meters, along with the stars. The stars are basically also fever meters. Once you get enough hearts, pressing a direction on the right analog stick will do a stage gimmick. And the stage gimmicks are, well, they're not massively impressive. Like, I just activated one there, and I believe it's a spotlight going on. Yeah, the spotlights in the background there have turned on, as you see. Whoop, I missed that. So, yeah, the stage gimmicks are actually kind of neat, because it's like a different form of fever time, where you earn more points when you have a stage gimmick on, which is perfectly fine by me. However, I find the whole thing to be a little bit weird. Like, they could have just easily put that on the R button, because I don't like taking my fingers off the buttons that I need to actually play the rhythm game in order to actually activate them. And they could have easily just made it a meter and be like, you know, you press it when you've got like 25% of the meter full and you get the 1 heart. You press it when you've got the 50%, you get the 2. You get my point. It's really weird. I'm not entirely sure what they're going for there. Let's do another star thing. Same thing with the with that touchscreen minigame, really, having to take my fingers off the buttons because I'm not going to play this game with a touchscreen. I tried for 2 minutes and it was rather unresponsive, so it was a bit of a pain in the ass, I must say. But I'm kind of surprised it didn't actually turn up on mobile originally. There is actually a Love Live rhythm game on mobiles now. Came out after this, I'm pretty sure, but... Oh, that was a long note. However, my complaint about having to take my fingers off the buttons to reach the analog sticks is kind of null and void anyway, just because this game is so goddamn easy. Like, seriously, the game's a pushover by rhythm game standards. The amount you need to pass is so little that I was getting maxes every song after my first because I was still trying to learn the controls and all that. Surprisingly easy stuff. The only reason why I'm not getting like 100 note combos is because I'm not entirely paying attention because I'm trying to talk to you people. It's surprisingly easy. Like, apparently there's a hard mode, but I haven't seen or figured out how to unlock it yet, and apparently that's not too difficult either, so there you go. Really weird that the game was so easy. Not to mention the fact that it's only got like 10 songs overall. They added a few with DLC, but by a few I mean like 5. So I'm not entirely sure. Just with the gameplay being so easy, the gimmicks being kind of annoying at best and just completely pointless at worst, and the just overall lack of just general high quality or excitement in the rhythm game just makes it really dull and uninteresting. I'm kind of surprised that, well, actually, to be fair, I'm not really surprised at all that this game's price dropped like crazy, because it's just not that impressive. It really isn't. Oh, I'll just go with some different costume and I'll pick a different stage. Also, this load time is actually kind of annoying just because it takes ages to load up a stage and see what it looks like and all that. And there's a couple of other things that get on my nerves too, just because, you know, this wouldn't be complete if I wasn't nitpicking literally everything about this poor Love Live game. I mean, the three different editions of the game, which will cost you at least like $60, and that's if you get really lucky on like the pre-owned sites and all that. I mean, generally, Japan keeps their pre-owned stuff in good nick, so you'll be fine if you want to go around one of those pre-owned sites like Buy even if you don't want to go with my sponsor, Play Asia. I really do have to be honest about that. They do support me. They do help me out, honest. But yeah. But there's a couple other things that annoy me too. Like, now, a lot of people will get on my case about this, but the backgrounds are too bright again. I mean, seriously, some of these backgrounds are just ridiculous, and it's really hard to follow where the things are going to come up sometimes, especially on songs where they tend to just jump all over the place and you can't keep your eyes in one specific position. And it's a lot easier now that I'm playing it on a big screen, but if you're playing this on a Vita on like maximum brightness, you are really going to suffer. The notes just blend into the background. You'd think watching them while you're playing, it wouldn't be that big of a problem, but no, they really do come in and just, it just blinds you half the time. And there doesn't seem to be an option to turn it down, which is something that I really wish there was, because, yeah. I will give the game credit for at least having some nice animations and dancing going on in the background here. But, at the same time, just hard to, it is still hard to watch them. There seems to be a problem with every rhythm game. At least you do have the ability to watch the PVs by pressing the, what was it, the triangle button? When the song loads. However, another problem I have is the game's technical performance. I've seen frame drops in a fair few of them, and it looks really odd. Like, seriously, the game just tends to drop a frame or 3 at random points, and I don't know entirely why. Gameplay still remains smooth enough, but it's really odd. I'm not entirely sure what they're doing with it. Didn't really do well with my timing there, but it doesn't really matter. Look, see, my meter's been full up for the past 30 seconds. I suppose I can talk about the quality of the music just while we're here, but, I mean, if you're listening, there really isn't that much to say. It sounds like J-pop. Sounds like pretty basic J-pop. I'm really not as into it as I am like a varied selection, like even something like, what's it called? Project Diva F or X, what have you. At least the Project Diva games have some variety in them. Most of the songs in this game have this sort of like girl band. I should know the idol sense. Yes, that's right. It's bloody called School Idol Paradise, but yeah, they all have this like idol sense over the top of them, and it's just kind of hard to appreciate the songs for what they are when they're all like this sort of idol thing going on here, which, look, not the worst thing in the world. If you like that sort of thing, that's fine, but just all that, since that's all the, what this is, since that's all the brain work, lips, say things, just because that's all of the songs in this game, I just find it kind of hard to really get on with the entire library when it all sounds as similar as it does. What's another song I haven't played yet? Oh, well, these two are marked as new, so I might as well give this one a go at least. But yeah. I'm not saying that I find the game worse just because there's, like, no bloody Vocaloid songs or any bloody, arcade game songs or whatever, a la Taiko no Tatsujin, but I'm just saying that, you know, unless you're a fan of, like, idol songs, you're probably not going to get through all the songs in this game without getting at least a little bored, despite the fact that there's barely any. You know? So let's just summarize while we go through this last song so I don't have to spend ages So I don't have to like just you know, hopefully all the talking I've been doing is going to keep my it's going to keep my video from getting copyright strike. But so let's talk about this game in summary. The rhythm game part is surprisingly easy and kind of bland. I like the idea of what they've done with the Fever Time like stage decoration segments, but I find them also to be kind of weird and frustrating, especially with the left analog stick one, which are these weird little touchscreen mini games that just come out of nowhere and require you to take your finger off the buttons. And I think the story is a bit weird just because you can get through it in about an hour if you go through it pretty quick. There's not that many songs. The challenge mode is surprisingly frustrating with how it'll take you right out of the song. The game's technical performance isn't fantastic. It'll just drop a frame or two here or there, and it's kind of easy to notice when the camera's moving really fast. And it's just, I find it really hard to find anything really recommendable about this game, just because I've played so many other games that do this concept better. Like even games like Miracle Girls Festival, which isn't on the top of my PlayStation Vita rhythm games list featuring young girls. It's just surprisingly disappointing considering what Miracle Girls Festival did. I know this game came out before it, but still, it's just kind of disappointing just how minimalist this is, and the fact that they split it out across 3 versions to try and get you to buy all 3 versions at full price, at least for the Japanese people, just feels really extortionist. And that is, I don't like it. I mean, if you could buy the game and you could get Nendoroids, which are like little figurines of the Love Live girls that you could like sit on your table and do neat things with. Like imagine a little bit smaller than an amiibo, and you'll probably get it about right. And it's just, yeah, like, why would you do that? Like, why not put everything on one card? I don't see why. And then you could just do like special editions with like special DLC costumes and maybe a collection of like 3 Love Live members. Like you could do the Primtemps and the BB and the Lily White groups. I think that's the 3 names of them anyway. You could do all 3 of them separate with the Nendoroid collections and some special DLC costumes, and no one would be the wiser. Oh yeah, by the way, you can't activate the fever. Well, you can't activate the left analog stick stuff near the very end of the song, so that's how you know you're near to the end of it. But yeah, I find this game to be just rather dull and uninteresting, I gotta say. It's really, really unfortunate. I think my nightlight turned on halfway through. I really hope that doesn't affect the HDMI output, but it's probably going to, because fuck me. So yeah, that was a quick look at Love Live School Idol Paradise Volume 1 Primtemps. Not worth your time. Go play pretty much anything else. This has been Blue Maxima, and I'll see you all next time.